wooden spoon anti-assassins in the white, mainly white strip, but with the blue, green and red hoops. So you've got England, Ireland, Scotland and Wales all tied up on those shirts. Wooden Spoon charity named and started by a group of England supporters at a time when England were going through a very, very bad time, and they'd just been beaten by Ireland and Ireland and decided that they ought to do something and raise some money for charity if they weren't better at winning games. So that didn't go 10 metres, and the switch over goes to the anti-assassin. One of the things Darryl Chapman said they were going to be very keen on, and he's true to his own word, if people taking a man out beyond the ball, they would be penalised. Right, first real attacking chance now for the Signals. Driving it up. Taking it back right. Has he got the support there? Oh, it's a turnover. Good jackling by the anti-assassins. They take it quickly and short. Well, I'm not sure they were back 10 metres on that one, but referee allowing it to go on. Surely the Signals must go in there. They fumble it with the line at the mercy, and it was knocked on, says Darryl Chapman.
Well, the Signals losing possession, coming in back towards traffic, and a great counter ruck by the anti-assassins, and assassin by name, assassin by nature at that breakdown, wasn't it, John? So
it was, but I mean, if the ball had just gone right, they were actually 3 on to nobody. And one of the problems you often find with these players at just below the top level, they don't know when the job is done, and all they've got to do is actually convert it. Big push from the Signals, making a bit of a mess of the anti-assassin scrum. Directly into touch, so the line out will be right back on the 5 metre line.
Yeah, not the best of crossfield kicks, slightly out of picture from our cameras, but another opportunity for the Signals to press on this anti-assassin try line.
Well, the line-out drill certainly worked. The Signals again carrying it up. Wild pass there, but well gathered in. Good ground being made. Puts them back on the attack when they were on the back foot. Oh, well, was it a deliberate knock-on? In fact, it was, and Darryl Chapman going straight to his pocket. 2 minutes in the sing bin for that deliberate knock-on. George Jalsena, it was, who's gone to the bin. Surely, though, the first score does go to the Signals. Indeed it does, and it's the number 8, Connor Holmes, who opens the scoring for the tournament and for the Royal Signals.
Well, it changes fortune very quickly there for the Signals. A man in the bin, and 10 seconds later, over for the first score of our weekend here. Number 8 running over the scrum half, Greg Nichols. And the conversion is good, so slightly wider target to aim for. These rugby posts well, not so much rugby posts this weekend, but football posts. So almost 2 metres wider you would usually get.
Yep, and a lower crossbar too, 8 metres instead of 10. So helping the kickers. Anti-Assassins now needing to come back. Holding on the ground, says the referee, and quickly taken by Jack Rush, the scrum half for the Signals. Get it wide. Oh, and stepping hard and through, it's Unaya Balakinasinga.
Excellent footwork here, isn't it? He's about 22 metres out. Off his right foot. 2 steps. And he's clearly got some speed. No stopping him from that distance. And Matthew Dawson looking for his second conversion. This time, not quite the same accuracy as the first. So, Royal Signals leading 12-0 here. A competitive start to this game then, John.
Yeah, the whole thing's very competitive. I mean, they're just, at the moment, the Anti-Assassins who are just coughing up the ball too easily. They've got possession. Here they go again. They've got it back. They've done that bit well. But they're still now back in defence, and the defence of the Royal Signals in this very aggressive, and they are struggling to find space and get away. Important here, they just recycle. Oh, high tackle, says the referee. Going to make them retake it, I think.
Yeah, Daryl Chapman just saying the Signals were too close at the tap penalty, so ushering them back 5 metres and giving the Assassins an opportunity to kick for touch.
What are their drills like? Yep, they've done all that bit well. Oh, well, that's definitely offside coming round the end, and situation where it was oh, and regathered his own kick. Good chance. Can he get in?
Excellent score for number 13, Connor Wilkinson there. His chip over the top, just coming off a green hand, well collected.
Yeah, it worked for him. It just made it stand up a bit. He was able to regather himself, and never really any doubt from them. Good time to get a score as well.
Well, much needed for the Anti-Assassins. The conversion, though, not good, unfortunately. Just going to keep an eye on substitutions for both sides. We've only played 8.5 minutes or so here in our opening fixture of this weekend's RugbySpy Ibiza 10s. This is the first fixture in Pool 2 of the men's open competition. The Anti-Assassins with the restart. It looks like they have an opportunity here, John, to close the Signals lead.
Yep, big knock on there. They're playing advantage at the moment. I don't know whether he's called advantage over. Important here, Scott, that they hold on to the ball and show a bit of patience. Well, they set it up, but set it up badly. The extra roll from the man who'd been tackled actually left the ball open for the turnover, and then through came the turnover, and they're done for hanging on.
Jack Rush for the signals at the breakdown there.
Yeah, wiry little scrum half, and sometimes you think of it being the bigger men going for the turnovers over the ball, but scrum halves tend to be short, stocky and very strong, and they're in excellent shape to effect turnovers as well.
It certainly helped. The signals there. Relieve some pressure. Grabbing out wide, but tapped into touch by anti-assassin hand, so the signals with another line out on the far touchline.
In fact, the referees whistled for half time, so no time for that line out, and the lead at half time, 12-5 to the Royal Signals, and the anti-assassins just need to start protecting the ball rather better.
Well, the signals of course went down to 9 men in that first half quite early on, but still perhaps, John, the most convincing of the two sides so far in our opening game. And you mentioned it during that first half, but it was their tenacity in defence that really put the pressure on the anti-assassins, and perhaps the pick of the tries here. Number 13, Balakinsaga, coming off his right foot.
Yeah, beautiful running from him. I'm not sure which of the islands he comes from, but he's a definite Pacific Islander, and showing that wonderful joie de vivre that they enjoy running with. I was lucky enough to play in Fiji for Wales in my career, and even though we beat them quite well in the end, for half a match they were almost unstoppable, and we wondered what was going to befall us before we actually managed to slow it down and get a grip. But out there, you know, every village had just a rough piece of ground with some rugby posts on it, and everybody loved their rugby.
Yeah, a friend of mine recently went to Fiji, and they were still showing him the score from the Rio 2016 Olympics against Great Britain in the final. So
yeah, well, it's not too often you get a bank holiday created as they have, because you've won a gold medal at the Olympics. It was, of course, their very first ever gold medal at the Olympics. It's bustling through there.
Daryl Chapman, the referee, mentioned seatbelt tackles in the team manager briefing earlier on. Perhaps a shadow of one there, John.
Well, if he was sticking true to his own rules, then you can't have judged it as a proper one, because he said that would definitely end with a card. But it was a bit high, and he's nicely put away. Offloading's good, but the pass wasn't good enough, and again the wooden spoon anti-assassins movement breaks down, but a knock on then subsequently from the Royal Signals, and therefore the first offence counts, and Daryl Chapman takes them back for a scrum.
Bit of a slow start to this second half. Neither team really holding on to possession at the moment, are they? And it's a necessity for the anti-assassins if they want to try and get back in this game and kick off their weekend in style.
Certainly at the moment The first beer of the evening will taste a lot sweeter for the Royal Signals than it will for the Anti-Assassins. Looks to put his man away, but it was a blind pass and straight into touch. Line out to the Wooden Spoon Anti-Assassins.
We mentioned before the kick-off, John, as well, looking at the two squad lineups, and the Signals, they've got 16 in their squad this weekend as opposed to the 13 for the Anti-Assassins. And how much do you think that's going to play in where this open competition goes?
Well, I don't think it'll play in yet. It might play in, though, towards the latter stages of the competition, where there's going to be some very tired bodies out there come Sunday, and there'll be a fair bit of socialising as well going on, so that doesn't help recovery. But I can't see people going into ice baths and not having anything to drink at all during the evenings after the matches here. But our first stoppage for injury, I think he's okay. I'm just looking to see who it is. I can't see the number at the moment. Is he going to be subbed off, or is he going to stay on? The lonely man on the bench.
Well, we've got a couple of hot tubs and a swimming pool this weekend if teams do need to recover.
Good line out drill from the Anti-Assassins. They've got the rolling maul rolling, and harder to stop in 10s once you get it going than it is probably in 15s. Nicely recycled this time by the Anti-Assassins. Now there's space out wide. Cut inside. Can he get the pass away? Yes, he can. Big man comes in to set it up. This is third or fourth phase. Went backwards so they can recycle yet again. Penalty this time against the Royal Signals, so a good penalty position for the Anti-Assassins. That's good, says the referee. It is a tackle. Again, they've recycled effectively. Takes the tackle. Got to get in and support him quickly. They do it this time.
Penalising there for handing it the ruck whilst on the floor for the Signals.
Yeah, it was better work from the Anti-Assassins. Decide to go for the line out down on the 5-metre line. Just want to get, I think, the Royal Signals forwards all there in a group, which should give them much more space outside wide. But from what we've seen so far, I think the edge in terms of pace is actually with the Royal Signals, with the outside backs.
Bit of work to do for them here on their own defensive line, though, to try and get into those attacking positions. No scores halfway through this second half.
They've got the ball. That's the first bit done. Can they get that maul driving forward? Quite prepared to put everybody in there. They've got it rolling. They've got it rolling. That's the try line. It surely must be a try. It is. Daryl Chapman spots the touchdown. Who comes up with the ball?
Well, they put some weight behind this one, didn't they, John? The maul raging forward and still trying to work out.
I made it 7 or 8 of the 10 actually in the driving maul. Now, can the conversion?
The conversion was good.
So, Robbie Davidson, the Wharfdale centre, kicks the conversion, and we're all level.
In our try scorer, Ralph Wellock. So the winger getting stuck in the heart of them all there. Don't quite often see that in a 15-a-side game. So 10's taking everybody at the moment in this Anti-Assassin side.
And we've got a real game on. 12 all into the last quarter. Assinger trying again to find a hole there through the middle with those fleet foot. Lovely dummy. Puts away Will Topham. Sorry, that was Scott Kilby who he put away there. Assinger tied up. Well, hint of a forward pass there, but they got away with it. The signals now. Could they find the decisive score? Good defence from the AAs, but they've been turned over. Well, he's trying to claim he was instructed. I don't think there was a hole there. And the anti-assassins, can he stand? Oh, when he tries the risky offload and gives away possession, that could be a fatal mistake.
Well, there's been a few of those from the anti-assassins in this game, and they're just perhaps slightly sloppy handling errors, passes not quite going where they needed to.
But it now gets into the very crucial area time-wise, and with the Royal Signals really on the attack and having to put in at the scrum. Just a little bit of slick handling and they could be in for the decisive score.
Well, we know what can happen in these shortened formats of the game. There's always seems to be enough time on the clock, doesn't there?
Yes, indeed.
Scrum down to the signals then. Still trying to work out what all these lines mean on the pitch, John, but I think we're perhaps 10 metres out here, would you say?
Yep, exactly. That sort of range. Certainly. Oh, and it's a big shove from the anti-assassins and they've got a heel against the head. What a time to come up with one. That was really, really important. They realised it and they came up with the goods. Has to come back inside. There's a little hole there though. Isolated. They get to him in support. Put it wide. Now if they can just push it wide, but the missed pass cuts everybody out, doesn't go to hand until the defence has had a chance to realign. They've got to start again. Chance to put him away down that side. The pass again goes in, but they've turned it over.
Well, we said the ball can change hands quite frequently, and from almost seemingly about to concede a try, they've up the other end of the field and now inside the Signals half. So a good period of play for the anti-assassins.
Yeah, they do need still though to be more aware of protecting the ball. If they'd just been a shade more patient there, that could have been the winning score for them.
Well, it was at 5-on-3 out wide, wasn't it?
Yep, absolutely.
Half of the pitch to run it in, so...
Man in trouble, Jamie Brooks, filed back rower. And there'll be a lot of very sore bodies, as I was saying, by the end of the weekend, and not the start you want. That's going to stay with him. I bet we see him take the field again, but he'll be sore.
Well, they're fortunate in the sense that they've brought 2 physios with them, so perhaps predicting this sort of incident. And surely not long left to play here, John.
No, the referee, the timekeeper, the clock on your screen there for guidance, but he's stopped his watch a couple of times, allowing for treatment for those injuries. Doesn't quite go into touch, yes.
I think he's calling a knock on there by the anti-assassins, so
he is, and it goes therefore scrum to the Signals, and they get possession back just inside the anti-assassins half.
The opportunities keep on coming, don't they?
Well, they do, and at this stage of the game, of course, this is a pool match, so it can end in a draw.
Both of these sides, well, they want to get off to winning ways, don't they?
Well, exactly. You really want to. It makes a big difference, but the biggest difference is losing that first game.
Perhaps some fortune for these sides as well. Of course, they've got to play an additional day, but it does give them another evening to recover.
And again, the anti-assassins push them off the ball. They make a mess of it. Oh, I think that's a harsh penalty. And he's gone for his, well, Nick Dwyer wondering really what he's done wrong. I mean, I think the referee is saying he had to get back to his feet before he rejoined the game. But Nick Dwyer is in the sin bin, and what a time to go there. We certainly, time running out, and going for the drop goal. Well, that's a bit of a wild option. They've got the man extra. The ball cannot, the end of the match cannot come until the ball's gone dead, but he goes for the wild drop goal, and anti-assassins will think perhaps they've got off the hook there. The final result, 12-all.
Well, what a waste with that attempted drop goal. Why would they not just try and grind it out and wait for the space to appear out wide? We've seen Balakin Senga with his speed in the first half just keep the ball in hand, don't just aimlessly throw it away at the end.
But that's what fatigue does. It's not just the limbs. You feel fatigued, so you think, I'll try and save a bit of energy, but the brain gets fatigued as well. Instead of thinking we've got the advantage, we have to be odds on to turn this into a win, I think, oh, let's go for glory and see if we can sort it out the quick way. And Darryl Chapman doing a terrific job with that match. I think he got the tone of it absolutely right and set the tone for the tournament.
Well, 2 sin bins, 1 in either half, so
yeah, got his warning down, but was sympathetic in other ways as well, and you know, gave an opportunity for everybody to get a flowing game going, and everything really working pretty well. The early stages, back to those first half scores. That one from Connor Holmes. This, the second try, it looked easy going at that stage, didn't it, for the Signals, but this was Balakinasinger, and Balakinasinger showing his footwork, really good pace, and good, watch the step off the right foot again, and then through the gap, found himself up against number 5 Jack Weir, a lock back rower, big man, and knew it was on. Here's the start of the comeback.
Well, Connor Wilkinson there profiting from a little tap off a Signal's hand with his chip and go, but great speed and a lovely fend at the end to put it away. Look at this again, just coming off a green hand, but really showed good pace, good footwork. Ball in the outside hand, lovely fend, and going over in the corner, sliding over this 4G turf here. Rubber crumb flying in the air. And again, it was the anti-assassins with the follow-up score, and Ralph Wellock, their wing, wearing number 11 on his back, getting stuck in the middle